Hey, what's good? Sergeant Rhodes is an activist, Marine combat veteran, and what many could interpret as a rabble rouser. In this conversation, we talk to him about his oath to the Constitution, about what it's like being an activist, and even what it's like to lose a family member to a cult. This is my conversation with Sergeant Rhodes and C4 Explosives. Before we get into it, remember to go to coconutjustice.com to get you some clothes that I think would look good on you. Let's go. Hey, welcome back, everyone. So I had a discussion with ChatGPT, and I said, hey, ChatGPT, if you were to design the perfect rabble rouser, who would it be? And this picture popped up, and it was an Instagram post from Sergeant Rhodes, y'all. This dude is capital R Rabble, capital R Rouser. Sir, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Yeah, man.
And that, those silky
Now I got
tones
some
right
boots
there.
to feel there.
And those silky tones, that silky tony voice right there, that's C4 Explosives, y'all. Welcome back.
Hey, I don't know about Silky, but I'll take it. Glad to be here always.
So, Sergeant Rhodes, I want to start talking to you. Your Instagram is chock full of rousing rabbles. What got you into being a specialist of rabble rousing?
So I think, defining moment that created, and it didn't create Sergeant Rhodes. I existed, but that made me say we're in a bad place was watching the interview in the White House with President Zelensky.
Oh,
Not even an interview, the interactions.
Yeah.
The clown circus.
Yeah.
And
the setup.
When I saw how they treated someone who is, a war hero and a fellow president of a country and our ally who actually is in a bad position because of a favor that the United States negotiated with their country. When I saw how they treated him, I looked at my wife. I said, this is fucking bad.
Yeah.
This is bad. And the following day after that interview, I saw a video by one of your former guests, Cliff Cash. And I saw a flyer that he had put out about a veterans rally that was going to happen in Washington, D.C. And I looked at the date, and it was 2 weeks later. I'm like, wow, I only got 2 weeks if I want to do this. And I looked at her, I said, I think I got to go. And my wife says, do what you got to do.
Yeah.
And that started me on the path of going to my first ever protest. And
real quick, because what you just said, when I was in the service, I started realizing just how much our families are affected by decisions being made above our heads. So all that to say, shout out to Mrs. Sergeant Rhodes. Thank you for being supportive, because it's really hard to be out here making moves and trying to make a difference, and you don't have that support, especially from the person that you go home to.
Yeah, agreed. She lets me do my thing. She says, and not just that first time, every time I bring up something to her, if it's another trip, I'm like, I think I need to go here. I think I need to go there. She's like, you go do what you have to do. She's got my back.
Shout out to her. Yes,
man,
ma'am.
that's important. It's important, especially when you're saying you're going into the fire and saying, I'll be back in a couple of days. And you're definitely going in that fire. How many times you been to DC since then? Because you've been there a lot.
So I've been there 3 times. I'm currently about to make my 4th trip when Congress comes back. I'll be in Michigan next week to speak at 2 rallies, and then I'll be home for a day, just just a day with the wife and the fur babies, and 3 cats, 2 dogs. The dogs are like my heart, though. The one he can't live without me. So
Yeah.
I'll be gone next week to Michigan, come home for a day, and then I'm turning right around and going to Washington, D.C., and I'll be up there the entire week.
Let's go back to the point where I called you Sergeant Rhodes. It's
Yes.
not like Captain Bone Spurs or anything like that. You're like a proper sergeant, right? Where did you get the rank of sergeant?
So I was in the Marine Corps for 8 years, and sergeant was the rank that I attained before getting out. I put myself out there as a veteran because I think we need more veterans speaking out.
Yes, sir.
You know, Carlos, when you're
Yes.
in the military, we're not allowed to be political. I mean, you can vote, but you're not supposed to talk about it publicly.
Right. You're supposed to be apolitical.
So
you do what you're told.
I'm asking veterans. That's what started this whole thing. And once I got back from DC, I said I have to go to protests and I did it in DC, dressed up, not in my uniform, but dressed up in some tactical looking, clothes and gear. I mean, if they can do it for J6, I mean, what the hell, right?
100%.
I can show them that, anybody can dress up like that.
100%.
Some of us actually wore clothes like that to war. So,
yep,
them.
All the way.
But yeah, so
no Vaseline. Shout out Ice Cube.
All right, I'll get distracted. This is like my brain going a million places at once. I had to turn.
Let's go. I'm here with you.
So, but yeah,
I got ADHD too. Let's go.
so we're apolitical.
Yeah.
And so I said, I've got to go out there as a veteran and start talking, going to a protest and showing up as a veteran.
Yeah.
And so people recognize that, hey, I actually served the country. I understand the oath I took. And there's a lot of people that are either didn't understand the oath or they're letting someone tell them what the oath is and what the oath means instead of actually saying, hey, I'm hearing two different stories. I hear these libtards over here saying this, and I have my mega buddy saying that. Why not look it up and see what the actual definition is and remind yourself of the actual words to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
You don't even have to go that far.
No, it's the Constitution.
Boom.
But the problem comes with people selectively picking pieces out. And they said, yeah, but the rest says you're supposed to obey the orders of the president. That's true. Obey the orders of the president and the officers appointed over me in accordance with the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
Tell them.
The Uniform Code of Military Justice says, Article 32, you must obey lawful orders. It's not a lawful order. Like, I'm probably jumping ahead of the story from where you wanted to be, but it's not a lawful order for Marines deployed in Los Angeles or wherever they're going to be deployed, the National Guard, to be deployed against American citizens. We have protections against that.
So how do you feel now that, like, say someone that's just going into the service and they're following orders, like they assume that they're supposed to? What's your message to them, just to say to exactly follow the Constitution and not what this guy is trying to tell you to do?
So you got to follow orders. If they tell you to go stand here, and you're not doing anything illegal by standing there. So that's where it becomes tricky, because you don't need to lose your freedom. I don't even think it's an NJP offense. It could be an NJP. It would be up to the command, but it's probably a court-martial offense. There's someone at some point is going to have to take a court-martial offense. They're going to have to refuse those orders when they're ordered to do something against American citizens.
Right. There are boundaries. There are boundaries to what you are to do as a soldier.
Yeah.
There are decisions that you can make. So, for example, let's say Sergeant Rhodes is at a peaceful protest, and the soldiers are told to fire into the crowd. You can say no.
You can say no. Now, you still might receive a court-martial, but in the performance of that court-martial, when you're able to say what you have to say, or your attorney is, it's going to come out that you were justified in your actions of denying to follow those orders.
Mm-hmm.
You're still going to get court-martialed.
But you don't want to work there anyway.
Someone's going to have to do it. Someone's going to have to take that first shot.
Yeah.
But I promise you, when someone does, more people will follow.
Yep.
More people will follow. Nobody signed up. Carlos, you didn't sign up. I didn't sign up to be turned on Americans.
100%.
Or those people that came to this country. And let's be clear, I'm not using the word illegal alien when I talk about the people that came to this country, because it's a civil offense unless there's certain conditions, like having come across the border, been deported for not being here legally, and then coming back within a certain amount of time. Yes, then it's a felony. But until that's happened, they haven't done anything except try to get the American dream, try to get a better life.
Exactly.
So
exactly. What they're doing today is no different than what my family did. My dad escaped Cuba, things like that. And it's ridiculous to think that we're just going to stop all of that. And then the frustrating thing is you take these immigrants and you put them in these neighborhoods that don't have resources. They don't have grocery stores. They don't have any of that stuff. And if you think I'm kidding, West Side Chicago, parts of Detroit, all that stuff, there are, what's it called? Food deserts?
Food desert. Yep.
So then when they're presented with the opportunity to make money to actually improve their family situation, and I'm talking from personal experience, this is my father's, this is a track of my father's decisions. He came here, he tried to get a job at Chrysler, and there was a different route that he took. And it was only because he wanted to feed his kids. He wanted to feed his family, you know? But let's say that there was an immigrant that didn't make those decisions, that was working hard. I just saw a video. I don't know where it was, but they had this guy, about 5 ICE agents had this guy pinned to the ground, and he was yelling, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. I'm trying to feed my family.
Yep. Yeah. The one that just came out this weekend, are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was bad.
If that doesn't move your heart, I don't know if I want you on my team.
Yeah. And you got to think too, Stephen Miller's only 2 generations away from his grandparents leaving Belarus.
Yeah.
So it's like, where along the line did he become Dr. Evil and say, I'm gonna be a mastermind and trying to remove everyone?
For real.
Hey, speaking of him, we got to him yesterday.
Yeah.
When they were in Union Station, you see that video? It got under their skin yesterday. So Pete Hegseth, you guys know what FLAIR is, right? You know what FLAIR is? Yep. For liberation and resistance everywhere. They have a headquarters outside of Union Station in Washington, D.C. Anyone that doesn't know, go look them up on Facebook. They've got a website. They've got Instagram, you name it. And they're at Columbus Circle, right in front of Union Station. And they found out that Pete Hegseth and JD Couchfucker was going to be coming through the metro. And they announced it on their social media platforms and said, hey, come and join us for a welcoming party. And that they did. And you could tell it got under their skin. They were trying to have the, oh, hey, wave or ignore them, either one of the two. But there was a press conference afterwards, and you could tell that Stephen was shaken. He was pissed.
Good.
But it's working. The pressure is working. He was not happy with the confrontation. It's a little
And this
fucking beta male.
what drives me crazy about these guys is I always reflect back to, say, high school or something. So they were in the cool kids club. They, they carried favor with the principal, and the principal was always protecting these guys. And all the inner city kids are outside just waiting for these motherfuckers to want to go home.
Yep. But yeah, so I saw that video you were talking about, and like you said, if that doesn't bother you to see that, then my message
We can call it good.
is not to you. I don't want you standing up with me. I don't.
100%.
I'm calling. My whole message since I started is, and it's added to it. It started out, veterans stand up. There are people in this country that are scared. So come to these protests. Let people know. Either dress up like a veteran, put your T-shirt on, your hat that says where you served, whatever. Bring a sign, whatever it takes to show them there's a veteran standing here with you. Because we all know more than one veteran. We know plenty of veterans who forgot their oath, or they bought into they're coming for your guns, coming for your daughters. Transvestites are going to rape your kids. We all know someone that bought into that, to those decades of Fox propaganda, Fox Newsweek or Newsmax, and all the other hardcore alt-right stuff.
Sergeant Rhodes, what part of the country do you live in?
Live in Florida. I'm not too far from your man right here. C4
boy.
About, maybe 3 hours from me.
You're about
I'm on a crusade from Miami.
I'm on a crusade. I'm on a crusade to show people that people that live in California and people that live in Florida are not that different.
No,
that's right.
I understand that you guys think this is a land of fruits and nuts and all that dumb shit that people say. It's not that serious.
California.
It's not that serious.
I was at Camp Pendleton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So for many years.
Yeah. And it's weird because I've been surrounded by gay folks, and I've just never had the inkling. I've never had the urge.
You're not gay?
No, it's weird.
Oh my God.
It doesn't rub off. It doesn't do anything.
They don't try to
wear a
get
dress.
you in the car?
Oh man, maybe they got to be dressed like ICE agents.
It's just ridiculous.
You are too far. Sergeant Rhodes,
I get people in my comments that are like, "Oh, you gay fucker, this and that." I'm like, okay, why are you so concerned about men's genitalia?
Why?
And second, calling me gay isn't an insult. It doesn't bother me because it's not an insult to be gay for someone who is gay. So you're not hurting my feelings. I'm a little tougher that you're not hurting my feelings. I'm a little tougher than that.
And let me go even further than that. With someone the complexion relative to mine, gay is not the toughest thing anyone has ever called me.
Yeah.
100%.
It's just not.
Yeah.
It's just not. So your words, like, come on. Again, we're in high school again. And the people that are in charge are the ones that like to tell the fart and dick jokes.
Yeah. Hey, but don't get me wrong. I don't mind those jokes. When I was in the Marine Corps, we used to tell your mama jokes all the time.
Yeah.
Still do.
I think there's an MTV show,
right?
About that.
Speaking of jokes, what's it like kicking down Congress doors with Cliff Cash?
Oh, it's fun. So I've done it twice now. All right. Done it twice. And this week, or not this week, 2 weeks from now will be my third time going into their actual offices. And it's fun. We have a list. We know how everyone's voted. So when we go up to the office, we look at, here's the name of the person. Did they vote for the big bullshit bill? Did they support Al Green's call for impeachment? Are they on the committee that voted against releasing the Epstein files. You know, we know before we even walk in. And if we have someone from that district with us, then we put them at the front if they're willing to.
Nice.
A lot of people are shy, and it's understandable, but I'm not shy. I will go in there and show them this is what we're going to do. We're going to tell them what we got to say, and they're going to listen to us. So we've had people that voted for impeachment. We went in, the representative wasn't there, but we said, please convey our thanks and let them know that we are supporting you guys, what you're doing, and appreciate that you are fighting for us. But we also get the ones that are not voting the way we need to, and those can get a little spicy. We actually got kicked out of Lauren Bobart's office, and the staff called the Capitol Police on us, but showed them the video because the whole thing was on tape. We showed them a video like you didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah. Should have wore a Beetlejuice shirt. She would have liked that.
she's a real jerk.
I went in not like this, but I went in with my gear, with all tactical gear on, just to show them if I just walked in without a group of fellow patriots with me, they would think I was one of the January Sixers just because I'm dressed exactly like them. I'm an old white veteran. Come on, that's another reason why I do this.
How's that feel to get what's it called? Not gentrified. What's it called? Stereotyped. What's that feel like?
I just dealt with one of them today in my comments, and the person, I looked at their page and they were actually someone who's on Team Blue. So I was respectful in the comments. I said, just so you know, there's millions of veterans. There's like 16.9 veterans out there. I think 16.2, 16.9, something like that. I'm like, there's millions of us on Team Blue.
Mm-hmm.
And there's even more white males on Team Blue. So just because I'm a veteran and I'm white male, please don't assume that I voted for Trump. They're like, how did you vote? Did you vote for him? I'm like, I didn't answer that. I said, go to my profile and look. You will be clear as the day, know that I could never vote for him. Not the first time he ran, not the last time he ran.
Yeah.
He's a fucking clown.
I was talking to I have a lot of family that lives in Florida, and I was talking to them when I was out there in December, and they said, "Oh, you don't like Trump?" I said, "No." And they said, "Well, why?" And I said, "Because all the old people that I talk to, all they ever say is that this guy has always been a douchebag his whole life.
His whole life. So many people.
There's a lot of small business owners that'll tell you he ain't shit. There's a lot of women that'll tell you he ain't shit. There's a lot of others, business owners that'll tell you he ain't shit. There's a lot of politicians that'll tell you he ain't shit. But then you're going to go online, and some knucklehead online is going to tell you he's the truth, and then you're going to believe them over literally everyone else."
He's got that cult hold, that personality that he talks like he's one of them.
Yeah.
And they're used to politicians maybe talking down. And even if they don't mean to, it comes across that way sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and
I can see that.
I think they let that stuff slide because, well, he's not doing that right now. That was in his past.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's doing it right now.
Yeah. He's just
that's why he's made like $2 million
because he's more powerful now.
$2 billion since he came into office that his family's made off of their crypto. Come on.
Yeah.
We're not fucking dumb.
He's turned the White House into shopping network.
Yeah. You need a new Tesla?
2.0. I think part of the problem too with what the Democrats' messaging is that they were trying to over-articulate and they were trying to be prim and proper and perfect. And Trump goes out there guns blazing, shooting off the hip and going off a script and lying through his teeth. And they're like, you know what? He's one of us. Yeah, I like this guy.
But a little bit more to that, though. We can't take our foot off the gas when it comes to holding the Democrats accountable too.
Yep.
because they're not clean in this either.
Nope.
It's because of them. It's because Nancy Pelosi and people like that came in and started making all that bank. Now, how are we supposed to fight against corruption when we got people on our team that are doing that too?
Yep.
Oh, so you all are in on it. Okay. So now Nancy Pelosi is not running for office anymore. I think she's got enough bag. But I think more of that is there's a lot of people here in and around San Francisco that say, wait, what? And that's the thing that people misunderstand about California. Is like, we will give you a chance. Like, yeah, they had people in here stealing things from Walgreens. You could take like $900 worth of stuff. They did that, and then they put it on the ballot, and that ballot, it was outstanding. How much people were like, there ain't no way in hell you're gonna walk into a Walgreens and take $900. So I understand when all those knuckleheads that are holding those posters that say Trump and all that dumb stuff, I understand how you might think that California isn't getting it right, but we correct course, because yes, I agree. Sometimes these folks take it a little too far.
Sometimes they do.
Or they're just putting money in the wrong places.
You know, there's so much. It started before Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah.
The reason we're in this mess is because of Ronald Reagan. Not just, okay, really, we got to be honest. It's not just one thing. I can't say that Nancy's part of the problem. Ronald Reagan's part of the problem. The fact that we never got rid of racism in this country, we just made them stay in the shadows for so long. We never got rid of it. We should have done what Germany did after World War II, when we started making laws where women could vote, where people of color could vote. We should have also looked at, okay, what happened in Germany? Let's make sure that we never have anything that could be a loophole for them to get in power. If they think that way, if they perform that way, we've got to have a better checks and balances.
Even better, do away with them altogether, the same way they did the Black Panthers.
But they're still in hiding.
Right.
I mean, look at the Heritage
White
Foundation.
privilege at its finest.
How long has the Heritage Foundation been in operation?
Right. And why is it that organization is okay, but the Black Panthers, who were helping educate kids, helping feed kids, that were creating programs for the underserved communities, and they weren't allowed to do that, but we have skinheads allowed to walk around, or even the folks with the Confederate flag going into the Capitol, shitting in the hallways.
Yep.
We let that happen in our house. We don't let people do that shit in sporting events.
You can't even wear your shoes in my house. Like,
That's
come
why I
on,
don't
man.
ever go. That's why I don't ever go.
That's why I don't send the invite. Just kidding. Everybody's welcome.
Speaking of going to the Capitol, who's going with me in 2 weeks?
I'm gonna see what I can do.
Live stream it.
I'm gonna see what I can do.
Okay, so Jessica Denson's going to be there. She'll be giving a speech. Cliff can't make it.
I'm catching up to her on social media. She's a go-getter, dude.
Yeah, she is. Carlos Alvarez Araños from American Opposition. You guys should have him on your podcast
whenever he's ready.
Yeah.
Whenever
you want me to get the connect for you?
Let's do it. Tell him Tocayo says, come on.
I will get you the connection.
Perfect.
Get him on. He's going to be speaking there. I heard him for the first time on March 14th. That was my first protest. Jessica Denson, Cliff Cash, Carlos, three of the main speakers, and the three of them together, it was powerful.
I bet.
But I wasn't out there protesting, so to speak, not the way I do now.
Yeah.
I literally just stood there with my sign and I had the Capitol building in the background, and people came up, I talked to them. If they didn't come up, I didn't say shit. I wasn't yelling, cheering, you know. If they came up and wanted to take a picture, I'd see people sneaking a picture because of what my sign says about the oath. You know, Congress, you know, do your job, remember your oath. And I'm like, don't take the picture from over there. Come right here in front of me and get that Capitol building behind me, because they are forgetting the oath. And that picture is going to be more valid, not when you see me, but when you see me with the sign in front of that.
Yeah. Talk me through that. Like, what was it like preparing to go and then going and then actually like bumping into or meeting up with Cliff Cash and all those guys? Talk me through, tell me that story.
Well, the going, I just decided I had to go. And so I just started, you know, planning for a trip. And I have a 4Runner. I'm driving up there. It's last minute. I reserve a hotel room, drive up there the day before. It was a 15.5-hour trip. I got in at 12:30 in the morning, checked in my hotel room.
Even the signs are tired.
I had a few too many of these. So I was so jacked up I couldn't get to sleep for 2 hours. I got to sleep. I get 2 hours of sleep and I wake back up. Probably the caffeine's still in my system.
Yeah.
So after the day of traveling and only 2 hours of sleep, I was like, fuck it. I guess I'm just up now. So I went and grabbed breakfast and I went to the protest. And I didn't even know for sure where it was other than at the mall, at the National Mall. But I showed up. I stood there. It was kind of cold out. It was in March 14th. Not freezing. But listening to the speakers and seeing the other people that showed up, we probably had between 2,500 and 3,000 people show up. Nice. And it was a pretty short notice protest. But some of the speakers just hit you right here. And I met Cliff there. I didn't get to talk to him, and obviously we didn't know each other, but I got to talk to him twice during the event. And a few weeks later, 2 weeks later, I went to a protest that he helped organize down in C4's area. Well, not exactly in your area, but in Boca Raton.
Yep.
So I was back in Florida, and I drove down to Boca Raton. So it's about a 4-hour drive for me. And I was at the Newsmax headquarters because they're part of the reason why we're here. Like I said, it's not just one reason. That's part of it. So I was in your part of the state. And then 2 weeks after that protest, I was in Tampa, and Cliff also, I get a tap on the shoulder and I turn around and it's Cliff. He recognized me from the protest.
Hell yeah.
And
Cliff is a beast, man. He is putting in the work.
Cliff puts in, I think, more work than anyone that I know.
The miles on that man.
I'm not trying to take away from anything that anybody's doing.
Sure.
Carlos, Jessica, and Cliff are like this powerhouse team.
No.
The two of them. Jessica, you don't see as much, but she's doing the work to lead up to her podcasts and up to the events. Cliff is more out there because of his personality and his job as a comedian. So you see him more. And Carlos will make a crowd just ramp up the energy times 100.
Yeah. That's good to hear.
But because of all of the stuff that was happening, every couple of weeks I was going to a protest somewhere else. And there's people I met down at the Boca Raton that contacted me, and they are in Lakeland, Florida. And they were like, where are you going to be? Because they saw me on April 5th in Tampa. They said, where are you going to be after that? And I said, I'm going to St. Pete on April 19th, day before Easter. And they're like, we're coming over there. And it was a Marine veteran and his wife. And his wife brought her dad, who's an Army veteran, like 74 years old, I think, or 75, in the Florida heat, out there protesting,
Shout out to my OGs, son.
Yeah,
They don't make them like that anymore, kid.
No.
They really don't.
But I started to get to know a few of these people from these protests, and I'd seen them at different ones, and they would reach out, where are you going to be? And so I started telling them, they started showing up there. And it so happens that I put a video out from the April 19th video. I put a video out on my Valhalla Overland, my Instagram account.
Mm-hmm.
And I tagged, because 50501 was such an integral part of people getting connected and finding out where's the next protest, when's it happening. So I tagged 50501 Florida, and it so happens that Vanessa Brito, C4, I think you're connected with her on Instagram. She's down in Miami. She runs the 50501 Miami and 50501 Instagram, or Florida Instagram accounts. And I had tagged her because I wanted Florida people to see, hey, look, I know it's a red state, but there's veterans here that believe in your gun rights and don't want little kids assaulted, but we're on Team Blue. So I tagged her account, and she sent her account to Phil Air. It's Phil, and his last name is EHR. And he's with Air Force. So he's a Navy veteran.
Air Force?
So his name is Phil. Last name is EHR, pronounced Air.
Yeah.
He's a Navy veteran, but he is running for Congress in Miami-Dade and the Florida Keys.
Okay.
So he has the Air Force using his last name and playing on the Air Force logo.
Sure.
Nice.
And
I like it.
Phil was over in, I think, England, raising money for Ukrainian soldiers who had lost their limbs in the war. So he was doing a soccer game promotion over there.
Yeah.
Because he himself, he's a 28-year Navy veteran, retired. He's a Mustang, which, Carlos, you know what that means? That he started off enlisted, and then he worked into the officer ranks, and he retired a Navy commander. So like 2 levels lower than a general. And
it's not easy to do that either.
No, it's not easy, but it gives them some perspective. Being able to know how to look at things from the enlisted side and the officer side.
Yeah.
So
more information is never bad.
No, never. So she reached out to Phil and said, you got to see this guy. And I don't know why. It's just something. I mean, I know why, but she sent the video, and he's like, yeah, reach out to him. And so she did. And we were talking on the phone, and then Cliff came through, or not Cliff, Phil called through, and we're on the phone about 45 minutes talking. And they're like, we want to help you get more veterans up to DC, because right after, a couple days after the DC event on March 14th. Oh, and I should point out before I forget, March 14th was picked specifically, that date specifically, because Jessica Denson wanted to reference the 14th Amendment, Section 314, right? Which says that this orange clown in the White House is not qualified to sit there because of the insurrection that he caused. And even if you argue that he was not convicted of it because we didn't get it done in time, he still aided insurrectionists by giving them a pardon, which there itself makes him ineligible to hold the seat of the president.
Yep.
But
not to mention he started that whole damn thing.
Yep. So that's that's why Jessica's website, she has a podcast called Lights On with Jessica Denson, but she has a website called 14th Now. That's how she got that title. But she saw my video, or not Jessica, but Vanessa saw my video, showed it with him, and they said, so we understand that you want to go to, you're trying to get veterans to join you on D-Day, the D-Day anniversary. because Carlos had put out a flyer saying veterans protest in DC on the D-Day anniversary. This was back in March. And I started talking about it in March. And no one was talking about it. Even the big influencers, nobody was talking about it until about a month before, not even, probably 3 or 4 weeks before the event was actually going to go down. But I had been talking about it the whole time. I'm like, we're going to make it happen. Because I didn't know Carlos. I didn't know Jessica, other than hearing them talk. I'm like, I don't care. I'm going to do everything to send people their way. They need to hear the message. And so Phil and Vanessa said, let's help you get up there. And they started connecting me with a couple people. And my Instagram just started blowing up.
Yeah.
That's how I found you, man.
Yeah. I have 3 types of videos. Informational, just passing some information, like this is what they're trying to VA. And I think I can speak that way about it because I do get my health care there. Same. And the oath to the Constitution, Carlos, you know, like you don't have to be a lawyer. You know, you don't have to have gone and gotten a law degree to understand that oath. It's very cut and dry. And very so I thought easy. I have a right to talk about that.
Yeah.
So I have informational, and I have my fuck you Donald Trump videos, or it's time to impeach Donald Trump, you know. Yeah. But they got a lot of attention because I was saying what a lot of people were thinking, but maybe were too scared, or maybe they couldn't. Maybe they have a job in the federal government, and Doge was just going in there like a wrecking ball.
Yeah, because that's where I found you. Because, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, man.
No, go.
But that's when I found you, because I took my kids and my wife and kids to the protests in West Palm in April, and I wanted them to know that there are people that think a different way than what you see on television, and I wanted them to know that it's okay to stand up for what you believe in and not be afraid to speak your mind. And so I took them there, and I used that footage that we took, and I put it as a backdrop with my song "Fight." And I tagged you in it because I saw you all over the place. I tagged every 51 affiliate across the nation, and I tagged you and the Liberator and I Cliff Cash, and everybody started like the reception from it was great, and I couldn't believe that it started becoming that undertone for these pivotal moments in American history right now, and like it was pretty epic for me, man. So I was like, one way or the other, we got to get connected, and I linked up with Carlos, and he did the video for Fight, and we wanted to be that conduit to get people like you out there, man. Keep pushing that voice.
Oh, yeah, appreciate it.
The only good thing about a rabble rouser is that he's going to bring another rabble rouser.
I'm trying to bring more with me every time I go.
I'm here, baby. I'm here.
Every time. And my third type of video, and these are my favorite because our country's hurting right now. And that means that I'm hurting because I don't like what I see going on. And so I try to do some videos to,
all good.
I try to do some videos to put some love back in people's hearts and make them want to come out there with me and fight. All right. Those are my favorite ones. I get to show the people that are out there standing with me and find the right music. I'm not a video editor. I do have help on a few of them from a friend of mine.
Hey, I got your back on that too.
Sometimes I just throw them in and let Instagram make it.
You have no idea what torch you just lit. You have no idea. You have no idea.
Those videos, I have comments on there. People that it made them cry, but it just ignited the fire in their heart, and they're going to go to that next protest.
Yeah.
And so I've been traveling all over Florida. So I've been down in your area, C4. I've been to Miami twice, May 3rd. Well, even before that. So I told you I went to Newsmax, then I did Tampa 2 weeks later in St. Pete. St. Pete and Tampa are easy. I'm local to them. I'm in the Tampa Bay area.
Mm-hmm.
Those are easy. But I got connected through Vanessa in Miami, Phil's campaign manager. Oh, I don't think I mentioned that. So she's not just running those Instagram accounts and running the Miami protests. She's also Phil's campaign manager. So,
oh boy,
yeah, and she got her doctorate in I don't know the exact degree, but like in data science. So she's good at moving the needle towards Team Blue. She's really good at that.
no.
But she put me in contact with some people and they said, when are you going to come to Jacksonville? I'm like, when do you want me there? It's a 4-hour drive for me each way. But I'm like, you tell me when you want me there. And they're like, how about May 1st on May Day? So I was in Jacksonville on May Day. I drove home that night, and 2 days later, I was in Miami on May 3rd to speak.
And that was at the Torch of Friendship, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I saw you got emotional there too, but wasn't there was also a character there.
No, not that one.
one.
Not that one. So that was July 4th. I was back in Miami on July 4th.
Okay.
And Enrique Tarrio, one of the convicted of seditious treason Proud Boys, that was pardoned. Seditious treason.
You know what?
That right there, pardoning him, just him alone, is giving aid to the enemy, and makes this orange clown in the White House not eligible to be president.
Yeah, 100%. And that's that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I would love to sit and talk to him. Just sit and talk to him and just pick his brain, just to see, because it seems like he's trying to prop up the system that he believes is happening in one way. And I run in circles where I have bumped into people who have explicitly told me that it's not the way he sees it.
All right. So I don't know his background. I don't know if he was born
All I
here.
know is he's Cuban and he's
Family.
full of shit.
I know that his last name is, or that his name is Enrique Tarrio. So I'm assuming somewhere down the road, he probably came, if he's in the Miami area, he probably has family that came from Cuba. That's just, or Puerto Rico. I'm not sure which.
He's Cuban.
But Hispanic, right? So I don't know his history. But he was down there spouting off about come here legally.
Right.
While Trump's Gestapo, Buckeyes. Trump's Gestapo is picking.
We're gonna touch on that because you look like a badass right now. Buckeyes everywhere.
I didn't know what to put up. I got a cat.
He don't have diamonds. He unplugged his refrigerator. There is no ice anywhere.
There's no ice in my drink ever.
I drink tea, bitch.
That's it. Stop it.
Stop this Nazi shit. Wait. I got this. You'll like this one.
Love it.
Man.
Yeah. Love it. Exactly.
But so Enrique Tarrio, he's watching Fox Propaganda Network, if he watches the news at all, or Newsmax or OAN or whatever, and he's not seeing that they're picking him up at their immigration hearings. So someone's trying to do this the right way.
Right.
I have a gal. So when this is a recent story. You guys don't even know about this. It just happened a couple days ago. When I was in DC, my last trip, that was for the National Day of Protest called Good Trouble on July 17th. That was the anniversary of the passing of
John Lewis.
Gosh, why am I blanking?
was
All
John
right.
Lewis, no?
John Lewis. Yeah. I was going to call him James for a second. I was like, it's not James, it's John Lewis. Okay. He passed away. I believe that was the 4-year anniversary. Don't quote me, but I think it was the 4-year anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
It was on a Thursday. I literally flew up there the night before, was there for all the stuff that happened that day. And then the next day did a Fox takedown in Washington and then flew back out. But the gal who sat next to me on my flight comes from a family of immigrants, not from South America or Central America. I don't remember if it was from Morocco, but it was somewhere in the Middle East or southern part of Europe. But that's not even important for this. She comes from an immigrant family, and she texts me. I wake up and I had gotten a text at 3:00 in the morning on my Instagram, and there was a comment saying, "I sent you a DM. It's important." So I looked, and she said that her brother this week was picked up in Henderson, Nevada, by ICE.
And Henderson is right outside Las Vegas, just to give people context.
And picked up by ICE, and he was going to have a hearing today for deportation. And they told him he's likely getting deported if he doesn't have an attorney, because they had said they couldn't afford an attorney. They were getting quoted like $15,000 for an attorney just to take the case. That's just the start. And she's like, my parents can't afford that. Well, she lives in Tampa, and we talked that we were stuck on a tarmac for like 4 hours before the plane could take off. But we talked, and she was thanking me for what I was doing, and she remembered me. And so she reached out, and she said that her brother has been here for 30 years. 30 years. And she's like, if he gets deported, we don't know how he'll take that. And then my thought went to, are they going to deport him to the country he came from?
Exactly.
Or are they going to send him? Well, I think the newest one is Sudan, or is that the new one that they're sending people to?
Yeah.
It was El Salvador for a while, but I think Sudan now. So are they going to send him somewhere he didn't even come from?
That's wild.
That's why
so
I drop
crazy.
the F-bomb so much when I talk about this stuff.
Yeah.
Because I can't fucking believe it. You have people like Enrique Tarrio saying, and maybe it's not his fault. I don't even believe I just said that, but maybe it's not his fault. He's got all this propaganda shoved in his head that he doesn't know that it's lies.
And let me tell you something. When it comes to Cubans, I'm about tired of my people hiding behind the fact that, oh, someone said socialism, someone said communism, and that's enough of a license for you to vote like a dumbass. It's not enough.
No.
It's not enough. I keep saying this, and I keep saying this, and I keep saying this. If you want to make America great, because let me break the news to you, it's never been great. We've been working towards it, but it's never been great. If you want to make it great, you have to build amazing Americans. You have to educate them. You have to feed them. You
Educate,
have to,
not indoctrinate.
Not indoctrinate. And that's it. I'm glad you said that too, because this is an idea that I've been kicking around in my head, and I've been slowly but surely leaking it out so we can refine it. If you take school and you teach the indisputable facts, math, 2 + 2 should always equal 4. Those things, right? Science, when you put this and this together, this is what happens. You can take all of those classes and teach those. But then when it comes to subjective topics, say history, Then you turn it into, say, maybe a survey course where everyone sits around, you all do your research, you all do your homework and all that stuff, and you talk and you figure out what happened in history. So then that way, when someone says slavery wasn't so bad,
Oh,
they
you've
got
seen that.
they got work history. They got skills.
Life skills.
Then your whole class can be like, no, dumbass. When your
They got raped, abused,
business,
killed.
yeah, when your business plan includes people working for free, it's a terrible business plan. And then when your HR department is a whip, think about how you would feel if someone was on a horse doing that shit to you. We have to stop that shit. But going back to school and stuff like that, our kids are not qualifying for jobs that are building the future. And we had a talk with Bernard Taylor a couple days ago, and he said, yeah, there's a lot of jobs for like blue collar and all that stuff. And I said, yes, but when you go to Silicon Valley, there's so much money being pushed around here, and our people are quote unquote not qualifying for those jobs, even though we come to find out that it's not necessarily what we know or who we know, more than they can get about 3-4 people for the price of one here. So when you're talking apples and oranges and picking all that stuff, you can keep those jobs.
Yeah.
I want to be a programmer. I want to be a designer. I want to be a music maker. I want to do all that stuff that is building towards a future. And chances are there's a ton of money that's associated to those jobs. When we're talking about American people qualifying for jobs, why is it that you ignorant motherfuckers keep saying picking apples and strawberries? Why aren't we building engineers? Why aren't we building programmers? We're not ready for this. So anyone who refuses to give money to the education system, instead of abolishing it and giving it to the WWE, we need to put money in schools so we can teach these kids how to, number one, think and not get the wool pulled over their eyes so readily.
Mm-hmm.
And then we qualify for the jobs that supposedly, again, if we're supposed to be the beacon of light, we're supposed to be the standard, the blueprint for the best country ever, why is education mistreated? Why is education not being funded? Why do we have to keep going to different countries to get smart kids so they can go to our smart schools instead of filling those schools, Harvard and all those? Why aren't we filling those up with Americans? No. We want to go to other countries and go get smart kids from other countries instead of investing in our smart kids.
Why aren't we doing what Norway's doing? Anybody in the world can go to Norway and for free study at their universities.
I'll jump on that too. Why aren't we doing what Norway is doing and take all these bankers that crashed the economy in 2008 and putting them in jail and rebuilding our whole economy?
Wait, that was Iceland, I think, right?
Was it Iceland?
I think it was.
It's one of those.
I think that was
Viking
Iceland
countries.
did that. I think Iceland did it to the bankers. Yeah. I think it was Iceland that did it to the bankers.
So let's talk about that. Since you look like you're probably from Viking lineage with that big ass wolf carcass back there.
And my name on Instagram, Valhalla.
Valhalla over the boy. I knew right when I met you. I was like, yeah, we're gonna be homies. That being said, don't take this the wrong way. I'm glad you're not doing this. Someone who looks like they could very easily fit into a red cap is just covered in fuck ice memorabilia. What was it? What was there anything in your childhood or in your comeuppance that had you I would dare say you're somewhat open-minded. Was there anything that happened that got you to be so cool?
My wife. So
They'll do that.
so okay, well, let me say that. So my dad was a Marine.
Mm-hmm.
My brother, Marine. My dad had a small business. He was Republican because back in the 80s, the late 70s and early 80s, they took care of small businessmen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not the same Republican Party of today.
It is
That's
not.
been hijacked by MAGA.
Mm-hmm.
My dad is no longer Republican. He is fully Team Blue. Can't stand that orange clown. Was hoping, even if it wasn't the perfect choice, was hoping he would live to see a woman president. So that's, you know, even if she wasn't the right choice, she was a better choice than Trump.
100%.
Okay. Way better. It would have been closer to the status quo, just doing the same thing that's been going on. But it's better than fucking up the whole country and then having the world also get thrown into chaos.
Mm-hmm.
My brother is hardcore MAGA.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't spoken to him since January 7th. Not this year.
Oh, here we go.
Wow.
So
2016.
I text him. I said in my text on January 7th, I said, I hope you weren't part of that shit show yesterday because he's retired. He could very easily have been the one going up there.
Oh, boy.
And he, you know, you see the dots when someone's responding,
Yeah.
but it never got sent. So he never answered.
His reply never got sent.
Correct.
Yeah.
So he stopped typing and never sent the reply. So since he can't honor me enough to give me an answer to my question,
yeah,
I ignore the happy birthdays and Merry Christmases.
Sure.
He still never answered that question?
He's never answered the question. I'm done with him. Literally. You're my flesh and blood, and part of the responsibility for what's going on are people that are voting the way he's voting. And I live, and I said this in one of my speeches at one of the protests. I live C4, we live in a very red state.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My neighborhood, I've got Republicans that voted for Trump here.
Mm-hmm.
I hate using that word. The T word. Orange clown. But they're hardworking Republicans. They're not out there, the flag on the back of the truck, sure, and buying, you know, $1,000 worth of merchandise with his name on it and face on it.
Made in China.
Yeah. So I can get along with my neighbors because they're not out there doing that. They are either being uninformed or they're being fed the propaganda. I can let that slide a lot easier than I can let my own flesh and blood slide for what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, I can co-sign to co-sign to some of the reasons trying to run a business and stuff. I can. But like my brother said, what business has this dude run that hasn't been run into the ground? Including the country.
Yep.
Exactly. The track record is there. It's like, come on, man. The writing's on the wall. I have no idea what you're understanding. And it's crazy that you guys come from the same lineage. You both went to the service, and you guys are polar opposites on this thing.
Yeah.
Polar.
So
completely.
With nothing but respect for your brother and your relationship to your brother. I don't want to disrespect anybody, and you know. But did you see like a buildup to his understanding of the world? Were you guys teenagers together and he's like, yeah, business for everyone and brown kids should get deported? Or
No, he never had that. He never
No.
had. My dad wasn't that type of Republican. MAGA wasn't there. He wasn't racist. It was
Yeah.
none of that. It was just him being fed up, probably buying the propaganda.
Yeah.
Remember when I said earlier, it's Reagan's fault? It's not. And then I corrected myself. I said it's not just one person's fault, but a lot of it started with Reagan giving Rupert Murdoch his citizenship after just 1 year, that special treatment. And then I don't remember the name of the law that got abolished or changed, where media did not have to give unbiased reporting.
Mm-hmm.
But when that happened, that's when Fox News, that's what started it. That gave them the green light to blow smoke up people's ass.
Yeah. I want to go back to, because I think one of the most heartbreaking things about this presidency is like finances and all that stuff, whatever. What this movement, what that movement represents and how it's breaking up families, to me, is mind-blowing. And yeah, I'm a family guy. So these things like families breaking apart is very important to me. Like, we need to figure out what's happening, and we need to get back to the point where we can be family again. And that's why when you're talking about not talking to your brother anymore, and your brother would pick a stranger that has never invited him to Mar-a-Lago over his family and all this stuff. How do we get them back?
I don't have an answer. Right now, I've been so focused on, instead of wasting, because I think it's a waste of time, because time is important right now.
Mm-hmm.
The federal government is moving so fast. Every moment that we don't fight it,
Mm-hmm.
we're backsliding further in history.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think, rather than focusing on bringing MAGA into the light,
Mm-hmm.
I think we focus on those 89 million people that did not vote but were eligible to vote.
Instead of bringing them onto the light, we need to grow the light.
We need to take those people off the sidelines. That's one of the things that Vanessa Brito was really good at. She took a young Navy veteran with, I don't believe he had political experience.
Mm-hmm.
He but he went out there and talked from his heart, and she moved the needle. Again, don't quote me on the numbers, but if you get her on your show, if you get her or Phil, I believe they took a plus 45 district to plus 25. In a red state. That's a lot for a kid that had no money backing him up. Even the Democrats wouldn't give him 5,000 so he could get flyers mailed out. They did it. They did the work. They put in the work, and that's where her degree came in. Like, how do we reach out to the voters and get them registered and get them informed of what's going on, and then get them to actually vote?
I think there's enough of them too that are on the right side that aren't leaning extremely to the right, and they're reachable. Like, if you could, again, you got to find those common bonds, and I think they can be convinced enough that what they were following is actually, it ain't right, man. So, like, come on, just come hear us out, and see what we have to say, and realize that, what, we don't have all the answers. We can't fix everything, because that's what we tried to say we were going to do, and it's impossible.
And we do have goofy people on this side, all that stuff.
Yeah, man, we're nowhere near. We all got goofy uncles on either side, right? So, like, come on, man, let's be real, let's break bread, and let's talk, and let's really have some stuff out, and, like, say that, let's get off the Kool-Aid, and just come back to reality a little bit.
I think MAGA have been told that they have to have a problem with the guy that lives across the street. If Mike and Billy are kissing and holding hands and they see it, I think they are told they have to have a problem with it.
Right.
Yeah.
But the reality is the reality is, how is that going to change your life or make your life worse? Because they're doing what they want to do.
And then if these idiots are wearing what do we call them? Orange clown outfits. And we're like, why are you wearing orange clown outfit? You can't tell me what to do. I have freedoms. Yeah.
Right.
Just like those two dudes you just got done verbally bashing.
Like, so C4, you just mentioned when we're talking to people that haven't voted, some of them may be on the right, but they are easier to move to the other side, or at least to get us to join in the voting booth and vote this stuff out, because they are family oriented and they see families getting tore out. That's going to be one of his downfalls. The cruelty that's going on from ICE is gonna be a big downfall, because
I agree.
They're gonna see, kids getting ripped away from their parents.
Here's my theory on that. Everyone keeps saying, oh, Trump is in the Epstein files, all that. I wish I could describe to you how little I care about this man and all of his stances. For me, it's who else is in those files that we need to pay attention to.
Mm-hmm.
And start. So all that to say, you got the orange clown is just right now. He's just the sideshow that the light is on. You have all these other clowns that are sitting there hoping that the main clown keeps distracting and everything. And they're going to let him take over so none of them do time. That's my theory. My theory is they're going to continue to be mean, and they're going to continue to do these things, and these things are going to keep escalating, because I think there's a lot more powerful people in that list of names that don't want to come out, and it's going to shake this country.
Yeah.
That's why whenever we're getting in these discussions, I'll talk about Trump and all that stuff. He's just some fat dude that eats a lot of McDonald's to me. I'm paying attention to who is he hanging out with, and who is going to be in these things, in these files, and at what length are these people going to go be mistreating normal people until they all get away with it, or they just take over.
There's enough people pulling the strings, putting him as the front man, and he will be the fall guy.
Because if it was only Trump in those files, why is everyone else fighting so hard?
Yeah.
You just sacrificed the lamb to save your ass, and he would be the lamb. But there's a lot of folks in these files that probably don't want those files to be seen, and they're telling him, do what it takes.
Yeah. And they got the money to make it happen.
And they're going through. And you cannot tell me that these ICE raids are not racially motivated, because we're not talking about all the Polish folks in Chicago that are illegal as shit. Oh. We're not talking about the Russians in New York that are gangsters that are running shit in New York that are illegal as fuck.
Every Chinatown in every major city across the nation. Like, come on.
No, you don't think all these folks got
they had the claim that they came across the border, the southern border.
Yeah.
So that's what the whole lead up has been. The brown people coming over the southern border.
Right.
Southern border, it's we're being invaded. So they use the terms over and over and over to gaslight their audience.
No. And then that audience thinks it's cute. Just because I like to walk around with a smile on my face, you start cracking ICE jokes thinking I won't choke slam you. I believe in Jesus, bitch, but I will do some harm.
I think another reason they're amping up the ICE and amping up the raids and amping up Washington, D.C. is because they're worried about what happens when Congress comes back.
Yeah.
And the midterms.
Yep.
I'm going to be there in 2 weeks. And let me tell you what, we have some shit planned.
Yeah.
So Labor Day, there's a big labor protest at the labor board. Okay. We possibly have another one. I don't want to announce it yet until I find out if it's happening, but there'll possibly be one which is going to be a very quiet candlelight protest. If that one goes through. I just came up with the idea last night, reached out to a couple people, and we're going to see if we can make it happen. We'll announce it if we can make it happen.
Cool.
Then on 9/2, September 2nd, when Congress comes back, Flair headquarters is got a lot of stuff planned. And I asked them, will you guys support me if I put this together? And I have no way to know how many people are going to show up. I don't know if we're going to have 15 veterans show up or if I'm going to have 1,500 veterans show up. But I put the call out for veterans to join at 0730 formation. 15 minutes later, I might adjust that time. I got to talk with one of the other event organizers, so it might get adjusted on the time. But regardless, we're going to form up at 0730. And we're going to march up Capitol Hill in step, in cadence, make some noise, and welcome them as they go into their offices. So we are going to have to walk by a lot of federal buildings. We'll walk by the Capitol, march by all these different buildings to get to the other side of the Capitol where the congressional offices are. There's 3 buildings, 435 offices there. The staff, the representatives, the lobbyists, whatever, they're all going to have to walk by us. And that's one event. And then we're going to march back down when we're done. That's just to welcome them into their office. Hey, welcome back.
Glad to see you.
Also, Epstein files.
We're just a
about
tour group.
Al Green's articles of impeachment.
Hey, have you ever, Sergeant Rhodes? Sorry. Go ahead. Go.
Well, we're going to head back down. We've got, if you guys know The Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got a handmaid's army being put together.
Oh shit.
Yes. And one of my friends, she lives here. She is very active for years, maybe decades that she's been doing activism. So I have a lot to learn from her.
Awesome.
She puts out some great TikToks and Instagram or videos on Facebook and stuff, but she does like the visibility brigades. And so a few weeks ago, I went to Orlando. They had what was called the Freedom Forum. The people that are taking away our freedoms, Ron DeSantis and Rick Scott and Randy Fine, a bunch of other mega.
Hilarious.
And so their visibility brigade put together a handmaid's army for that. And it was GOP Guardians of the Keto Files. And it was good. It was good. But so she is coming to DC. She was part of the group that went with me in June. She's coming to DC and she's putting together a handmaid's army in DC. So
that's outstanding.
Everyone showing up.
That's outstanding.
And then we have the speakers at 10 o'clock. And like I said, Jessica, Carlos, I'll be speaking. And Representative Al Green will be speaking. And I think there's another one or two. And then after that, we go back up Capitol Hill. And it's going to be a busy day. And that's when we do the congressional office visits that you mentioned earlier.
Awesome.
So that will be my third time doing those.
And they let you just walk in like that?
Yeah, they let you just walk in.
That's amazing.
If the door's not locked, you have a right to walk in.
Beautiful.
Yes. And so we look, as I said, you look up and you know who you're going to talk to. even if the representatives there, we're getting their attention. If you saw some of the videos on my Instagram, there's a couple of them where we show what's going on in there. So I got to learn to not over talk people. I have a tendency to get upset. And I'm gonna do better this time not to over talk someone else. Okay.
You got to take notes from Cliff Cash when he talked to Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Oh my gosh. So about that, we found out the day that one, I wasn't there for Marjorie's visit, but we found out about it that night in June, because when I was up there for the D-Day anniversary rally, we had about 10,000 veterans and our supporters up there. The Dropkick Murphys played a free concert for us.
Awesome.
I know it's not the rap that you guys
like.
All right,
man.
I listen to everything.
They have a kick-ass performance, and they debuted their new album, Who Will Stand With Us.
Hell yeah.
So it was really great. And that night we got the story on Jessica Denson's podcast. She did a live podcast. We had a dinner for the team that went up there with me, and just like a thank you dinner at the Hard Rock Cafe. And then Carlos and Cliff and Jessica did a live broadcast for her show that night. And he told us the story about Marjorie Greene kicking him out of the office and flipping him off. And he's like, back at ya, Marge.
Marge.
And he was back in her office on July 17th. And this time she actually called them in, or let them come in and sit down and talk for a little bit. And that was
Marge did?
Yes. And that was because of the Epstein files.
Oh, you see, she's starting
in their armor.
You see, she's tainted on Trump now. She was actually like protesting against him at one point last week, I think it was.
Yeah. See, so amazing. that's why we're running. I mean, I know you're like, I don't care if he's in. I want to know who else. Right. I don't care if there's 100 Democrats in there. I want to know who the fuck they are.
100%.
To the trolls that come in the comments, they're like, why didn't you demand it before? It's like, listen here, bud. Your candidate made a promise, a campaign promise, that he was going to release them. So let's not worry about the past, and let's look at what's happening right now. Why isn't he releasing them?
And not for anything, but number one, as far as I'm concerned, I didn't even really know about Epstein or his files up until Trump started talking about him during his campaign.
I knew was there was an investigation.
Yeah.
So
it's just like when people talk about, these charges that Trump was that got put on Trump for him like cooking the books and whatever it was that he was doing. They're like, well, they didn't do it before. Oh, well, they didn't know before. They talked to his lawyer. His fixer was like, yeah, this dude's cooking the books. And then they started looking into him.
It takes time.
You need to, right. You can't go on a, what does they call them? A witch hunt? You can't go on a witch hunt.
No.
But when someone tells you this dude is cooking the books, it's not a witch hunt anymore.
No. Now you have
you have facts.
Yeah. But
okay, they're all sitting on the desk.
Back to what's coming up. So then on the 2nd, that afternoon, I believe it's at 4. It's on the Flair website, but I believe it's at 4. There's a protest at the White House. The following day, September 3rd, we're doing congressional office visits again. And Flair does them every week now. They started out just occasional. Now they're doing them every week. They're doing the Fox Takedown every week and the Heritage Foundation every week.
I think the Heritage Foundation is Cliff's favorite.
Oh, you can get spicy there. No pizza for Nazis. But
that's right.
Oh, see, after the Fox Takedown in July, he brought pizza, had it delivered to the takedown. Yeah, right towards the end, and then so that became a thing. No pizza for Nazis. So I'll be at a Fox Takedown tomorrow, and even though I try to eat mostly carnivore, I'm grabbing pizza because It's
Because you're not a
patriotic.
Nazi.
In my opinion, it's patriotic now.
Get to meet lovers and then just have at it, brother.
There.
That's it.
There we go. But so then we'll do congressional offices again, and then that afternoon will be a protest outside of APAC.
Ooh.
So they're a big cause of what's going on over in Gaza with the politicians in their pocket. So those first 3 days are going to be the first 3 days of the month are going to be crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I'm flying to Michigan on the 27th.
Crazy.
I got asked to speak at a rally on the 28th, just north of Detroit at the Eastern. I'm going to put a shameless plug. All right. The Eastern Michigan Fairgrounds, the SOS rally, which is the Serving Our Society rally. So we're going to have a gubernatorial candidate and 2 Senate candidates speaking. And then I got a little bit of time that I'll be on stage also. And the following day, I'll be in Lansing, the Michigan state capital. And because of the logo that I have, which is, let me show you. Oh, it's going to be backwards. Anyway, truth doesn't retreat. Okay, because of that logo.
We need that beard updated.
The beard update.
It's a little longer now.
This is what AI, that's what AI, they put a picture, one of my friends put a picture in there, and that's what AI said I look like. So I was like, I'll run with it.
I found you just in the nick of time. I forget. Oh, I'm about
Carlos
to
gonna
make
hook you up.
Yeah.
But
You just
so
hit the
that
goal,
truth doesn't retreat is my thing.
love it.
You know, you gotta stop the lies. So we decided to call. I'm helping the organizers. I can't do a lot of it. I'm not there, but I'm working with her behind the scenes. And so we decided to call it Truth Over Tyranny. And that rally will be on the 29th of August in Lansing, Michigan, at the state capitol, right there. And then I fly back the next day to Florida. I'll be here for a day, and then I'm up to Washington for a week. Where Carlos will be joining me.
I did wanted to get back. I'm telling you, I'm looking into it.
The energy, brother, the energy, you will feel, you'll take it back to California. It doesn't matter if it's a blue state. You'll take it to California, and that energy will turn into so much good.
That's the part that I wanted to touch back on was this marching thing. However many people you have. Have you ever been at like when like an entire battalion is together? Have you ever been in that situation?
Yes.
Is there anything more glorious than that, with the exception of the second coming of Christ? Is there anything better than that?
No. The intensity when you hear those boots hitting the ground and someone calling the cadence.
Oh,
yeah.
Look, I have goosebumps.
Yeah,
I have goosebumps.
Mike, no,
Mike,
I'm not sure.
Mike, let me catch Mike up on this.
Go ahead,
Mike. When you are there and there is tens of thousands of soldiers, and way over there you hear, and then all the boots clap at the same time. And then over there, and then when you get all 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 bad motherfuckers to do it all at the same time, son, your skin will rip from its bones. I promise you.
Yep.
It's hard to beat. It's hard to beat. Oh, yep. I miss those days. Anyway,
no matter how many people show up, we're gonna draw attention.
Yeah,
I promise you. That is our goal.
And singing cadences and shit like that. Oh my God, I will go just for that, just to relive part of that. Boy,
that's all it takes.
That's all it takes.
Hey, Adderloo, hey, Adderloo.
I'm gonna go pack my bag. You guys started this thing. I gotta go. Hell yeah, son.
I'm telling you, show up. I will be speaking with Jenny, who's putting together the Handmaid Army. We started talking last night, and just to get some details that I could get to Jessica Denson, since she's really working with Flair to organize this. And so I'm going to see her tomorrow at the Fox Takedown in Tampa. And beautiful. I think we may escort the handmaids up the hill. So I might push the start time back a little bit.
Sure.
So that we can escort them up the hill.
Oh. So you're talking my language, man.
Can you imagine?
You're talking my language.
The veterans, and these, I am going to tell them, you do not march like his parade. That ain't happening. We're marching proper.
I'm glad you brought that up, boy. And I don't know if they did that on purpose, but listen to me when I tell you. Listen to me when I tell you. They looked ate the fuck up.
Not wanting to be there.
They were not in step. There was not like you can hear that whole thing broke my heart. The fact that they're wasting money on some bullshit. Huh?
People marching without swinging their arms.
Yeah. Off step. Like where was the platoon sergeant calling it out? Like what?
I think they had a conversation. We are going to follow orders and be here and march.
Yeah.
How good we do it is different.
Yeah. I saw that, man. I was like, do not waste my time with that bullshit.
But imagine,
I hope it was that. I hope it was that, and not that the rules of the military have been that relaxed, because you're not doing anyone any favors with loose rules. No. If you have loose rules in the military, you're going to set people up for death, possible death.
Ask you guys something.
Tell me.
Play a quick game real quick. I'm gonna mention some key phrases and some important documents, right? Let me know where they're from. All right. With liberty and justice for all.
Like, where is it from?
Where is it from? Yeah.
The Declaration of Independence.
Yeah.
The Pledge of Allegiance, right? Okay. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union.
Okay, now you're doing the preamble of the Constitution.
Correct. All right. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free.
Statue of Liberty. Statue of Liberty.
Yep. And what about the last one? Building in America where freedom, opportunity, prosperity, and civil society flourish. Any guesses?
Martin Luther King Jr.?
The Heritage Foundation.
Heritage Foundation.
Say it again. Read it again. Read it again.
Building an America where freedom, opportunity, prosperity, and civil society flourish.
That sounds nice.
Sounds nice, but
it sounds nice.
That's not what they're doing.
But coming from them, and that's the thing. And that's the thing.
You have to pay attention.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Works for me.
Yeah. What he was reading, he forgot the ... for white people.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what America are they building with that? You know?
You know what I mean?
Hey, got to go back to the Lady Liberty. So one of the patriots that I met in June, and she came also for Good Trouble in July, will be joining us, and she dresses as Lady Liberty. So she will be.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's the one in handcuffs, right?
No, Lady Liberty.
All right, there was
she's not dressing. She's not dressing at. I think
Mike is always going to Wii fans and stuff. Stop.
My bad, man.
Handcuffs.
But so she's coming as Lady Liberty, and another friend of mine, we just came up with it yesterday. She goes, I kind of want to come as Wonder Woman. I'm like, do it. She ordered her costume.
Oh,
she's doing congressional office visits as Wonder Woman.
If she went to the White House, her lasso of truth would explode.
Oh my God. She's gonna love you for that comment.
That is wild.
You know what though? before I forget, I have to say the people that I have met, while this country might be severely divided, the people that I have met on Team Blue out at these protests are like the best people for someone's soul.
Yeah.
There's too much shit, and I don't think this makes me feel weak. There's too much shit that I cry about when I turn on the news and saw someone getting run over that was trying to stop an ICE kidnapping, and they're getting run over, and then ICE takes off and doesn't even stop to give them aid. And I had tears in my eyes. I'm like, what the fuck are we coming to? And then when I found out about out in California, when they did those farm raids with the disabled veteran that got scooped up, disappeared for 3 days after they busted his window and dragged him out of his car, sprayed him with OC spray, tear gas spray. And he came back 3 days later. They let him go. He's still in the same clothes with the tear gas spray on.
Oh, jeez.
I mean,
And
I cried.
and at that point, his brain is scrambled because you can't undo that shit.
I cry over this stuff.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make me less of a man. I don't care what Team Red says. Fuck you. Come here and tell me I'm not a man. To my face. Not in the fucking comments, trolls. To my fucking face.
You know where he's at.
I fucking announced where I'm going. I ain't fucking scared.
Hey, I was telling Mike the other day, I said, Valhalla out here talking mad shit. Now imagine him having a big brown gorilla behind him. Have at it. Let's go.
Like meeting you guys and seeing that we can do this because we actually care about each other.
Right.
The team that I have, it's my tribe now. I call it my tribe.
Yeah.
Some people I've become very close with that really are putting in the work to try to save this country.
Yeah.
They really are.
There's a difference when you're coming from a place of compassion and where you really are trying to look out for people that are getting picked on.
Yeah.
And you really want to do something that is good for the country, not for yourself. There's a big difference. And you start gathering those emotions, and you start carrying those emotions with you from the people that you encounter, and you're feeding people like, solidarity, love, your conviction for humanity, and that is contagious just as much as the equal and opposite reaction. So when your threats are hollow, like what's going on in the White House, there's a big difference. And when the thermometer pops, there's going to be a lot of pissed off people that were all nice about the way we go about business, and when shit hits the fan, they're going to have their hands up and say they're going to be I'm sorry.
Right. Right.
I have my breaking point. When I'm talking at a speech, or if I'm talking in one of the videos I'm making for my Instagram and Facebook account, like I speak and my emotions come out, and sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's really hard. I've broken down crying at more protests than I haven't. Okay.
Right.
But if they decide to take this to the next level and it's like a true civil war, right now we're on the brink, but we ain't there yet. The courts, and let's point this out. I don't know the exact number now, but one of my friends was looking up. She's a data geek too. Courtney, I love her, and she was looking it up. It was probably about a month ago or so. We were at 96% of the cases that we have against them that we have won that came out in our favor. We're not going to win. We're not going to have everything in our favor, but 96%.
I'll take that over.
It's unconstitutional. And so the courts are saving us. So if someone feels like there's no hope, what is it going to do to go to DC and protest? what it's going to do to go, whether you go to, you know, the bridge overpass where you live, or you go to DC, get out there and get seen somehow, get your voice out there, because the lawmakers need to get on board with protecting us the way the judges have been.
Yeah.
Right. And not just that, but it's the community building, right?
Yes.
We have to get back to being Americans. When I was a kid, that meant something. When I was a kid, even if we didn't quite see eye to eye, if you were on my team, if you were American and you had red, white, and blue on your shoulder, or you had red, white, and blue in your house, wherever the hell you want to put it, even if we had a little, you know, misunderstanding, whatever, if someone else from not inside the house gave you trouble, that person had twice the trouble to deal with.
Yep.
Because we were a family, we were Americans. And now some folks are convincing other people that we're not that. They're trying to tell you that because of the color of my skin, I'm not allowed to have certain jobs. They're telling you because of the color of my skin, I'm not allowed into certain neighborhoods. And I can show you, it's not that hard for me. Go on Google and do a search for Black family, Marin County, selling house, and see how they treat people of color out here. When I'm telling you, even though I'm originally from the streets of Chicago and now I'm in Sonoma, pretty close to Silicon Valley, blah, blah, blah. So I've seen so much in my life. When I tell you that they're using you, that they're tricking you into some shit, and I tell you that their hands are in your pockets, their hands are in your purse, and they're convincing you that I want your money. I don't want your money. I want my money. I have worked long and hard to get to where the hell I am. I don't need your money. Trust me, especially living in California, the fourth largest economy on the planet. Georgia, Utah, where's Kentucky, all you guys, welfare states, like, come on. Maybe not Georgia, but I know those other ones are. Like, you can't have those people telling you about me and you haven't even met me yet. Because let me tell you, what you're going to learn is I'm a family man. I believe in God and I believe in my country. And I refuse to have anybody tell you the who's and what's of America without me at least speaking up.
Amen.
Yep.
You're not just going to take it. You're not just going to take it. That's not how it works, baby.
No.
Especially now, I got Bernard Taylor. I got Sergeant Rhodes. You know what I mean? I got Russell Cleveland in my corner.
Cliff Cash.
Cliff Cash. Come on, son.
Cliff is
That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. And that's why they don't let people like us get on TV and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, even after this Trump shit, once this Trump shit is gone and it's just you and me, and I'm talking not necessarily just you two, I'm talking me and literally any other American who bump into each other in the streets, you're going to see that I'm very passionate and I'm a very good-hearted person until you take me to a place we call there. And if we need to go there, we need to go there. I am not afraid to do that. I signed the papers on my 17th birthday, bitch. I am defending the Constitution for the rest of my life.
Yep.
And it's not some orange clown that is too afraid to do anything. He's a rich boy who has never got punched in his face. He doesn't know how to shut the fuck up. And he's got his hands in your pockets. You're not going to tell me that he's better than me. You're not going to tell me that the neighborhood that he lives in is better than mine. No. You're not going to tell me that his skin is better than mine. His dad gave him everything. What do you guys see in this clown? What do you see in this clown? He hasn't done the Peace Corps. He's never built a school. He hasn't done shit for you except sell you some bullshit Nikes and some bullshit Bitcoin.
He's never even watched MASH.
Yeah, get out of here with all of that. He probably counts on his fingers, them little ass fingers. Get the fuck out of my face with this.
Little baby
Why are
carrots.
policies written in, if you have a red state, why is it? Oh, so okay, C4. Like we now have a Florida version of Doge, right?
Yeah.
DeSantis just, yep, we're gonna have a Doge too at the state level. Just find the fraud, waste, and abuse.
Mm-hmm.
It's been red. The state's been red for how long?
Start
Yeah.
at the
If
state
there's
capitol
fraud,
and go
waste,
from
and
there.
abuse, who's doing it? The Republicans.
Exactly.
What about him trying to
Look
fund
at
his
your own
wife's
$10 million
campaign?
that you stole.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With your white boots, sissy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's no better than anybody else, that's for sure.
When you realize that Republicans don't want government because government gets in the way of business, when you make that realization, that's when the game starts to change in your brain. They don't want to train you because they can get people from overseas for cheaper. Of course, they're not going to train you. You pay taxes and all they're doing is getting richer. You don't see a problem with that? And then you're going to sick this clown on us? And I said this in 2016 or whatever. I told everybody I knew that would listen, I said, this is going to be an ass whipping because we hired a black dude to do this job and he killed that shit. This is the payback for that. And at the end of this, at the end of Trump's run, I'm going to look at all you Americans that voted for him. And I'll be like, hey, strap them up, bitch, because we got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, because they're going to be like, oh, we're cool again, right? We're cool. We're good, right? He's out of the office. We're cool. We took our flags down.
Until the next asshole shows up.
Yeah.
And tricks you into some bullshit. There's this podcast that and it's my new passion. It's called JAAM, the Jam Podcast. And it's these kids from Chicago. And it's very political and it's very good. And one of them said, I'm not spending time trying to denazify some asshole who's co-signing to Nazi shit. You didn't just wake up and someone slapped Nazi on you and you're like, oh boy. It was a system, and the information that you were looking for. You specifically have to look for it and convince yourself of becoming someone who has the same thought process as a Nazi. They said, I don't have enough time to convince you. If you convince yourself of this Nazi stuff, you wanted to convince yourself of Nazi stuff. So I don't have time for you.
Yeah. Like I said, they faded into the shadows. We didn't get rid of them.
Exactly.
They were still there.
And then right when Trump took over, like I saw those videos coming out of Florida where these dudes on boats with Nazi flags. Are you serious? In America?
Yeah.
You motherfuckers are pushing it with the what's the one? The South flag?
The
Confederate flag. You guys are pushing it with that shit.
They're everywhere.
Nazi flags?
They're everywhere. Yeah, they are. The Confederate flags are everywhere.
Bumper stickers, stars and bars.
You guys are lucky I'm not president because I'd make all that shit illegal. It's the American flag or you go to jail.
The Nazi flag didn't get made illegal in Germany?
Yeah.
Do you hear anybody else with the name Hitler, or did everybody change their name?
Oh, only in America. Only in America.
Yeah.
They don't even do that shit where they grew it, where they invented that shit.
Yeah.
They don't even do that over there. As a matter of fact, they have classes that teach you the antithesis to that. They teach you away from that.
Yeah.
But no, now because you're in America, now we're gonna just let you free to do dumb shit like that. What are we doing?
I know what I'm doing.
Tell me.
I'm going to a fucking protest.
Let's go.
Tomorrow,
Boy,
I
you
have
got
a
me
protest
hyped.
at Fox News takedown in Tampa. Tomorrow night, I'm going to a Visibility Brigade protest. And then the next day, I'll be at another Visibility Brigade protest. That's going to be by the end of Saturday. I will be 34 protests in since March.
Jesus.
Hell yeah.
These guys, they started the one.
You
one of them
you
that I'm
are
going
a
to.
professional rabble rouser.
This is what we need, though. This is what we need. People got to be pissed off all the time, not once every 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You're not going to get their attention if it's once every 2 or 3 weeks.
That's true. And not
And
for
then,
anything, but I don't think that they're
I'm
taking the
trying
day
to
off either.
help organize up there in Michigan, help her behind the scenes a little bit for what I can do, trying to build my network. So the message I have of veterans standing up. And then I just started this.
We the people.
Yeah. So this is just the study material that they recommend for the Harvard Law School has a free course. I paid the $150 because I want a certificate when I'm done, but they have a free course called American Government Constitutional Foundations. And this is what they recommend to help you get through the class. So I ordered the book. I just started this. I'm like, if I'm going to talk about the Constitution when I'm out there at a protest and about upholding your oath, then I want to know more about it. Because this is how you win, is becoming educated.
Yep.
That's why they're coming down on all those universities, because there's too many people educated that are fighting back.
Right.
100%.
So I'm going to become one of them.
And if you can hear my voice and you're watching this on YouTube, I'm going to leave a link to it's a link off of the Harvard education or Harvard website where they have a bunch of courses for free. And it's everything from, here's one that's called Nonprofit Financial Stewardship Webinar and all kinds of stuff. Harvard has a lot of free courses that you could just take.
You can take it for free. They call it auditing. So you can audit it. You can take the course for free. Or if you want the certificate, different prices for different courses. For the one that I'm taking, which is American Government Constitutional Foundations, it's $150.
Ugh,
and when you're
easy.
done and you pass your course, you'll get a certificate.
Boom. Yep. Stack up those credentials, man.
You can choose to remain ignorant and let people control what you think and how you think, or you can educate yourself. And you can, if you hear two different stories, you can research and figure out which one is the truth. You can learn to develop some critical thinking skills so that you can avoid falling into the traps of propaganda versus truth.
And you just don't have to wait for someone to tell you the facts. You'll know, you'll learn, and every class that you take is just going to beef up your argument just that much more.
Critical thinking skills. I promise you, the single mom who's trying to raise her kid while she's working 2 jobs and studying for a nursing degree or something like that, who came across the border illegally, which is only a civil offense, that single mom is not hurting how much money is in your bank account compared to the billionaire who took, the SpaceX, we'll talk Elon Musk for a second, SpaceX and all the government contracts and the R&D money that he got to research stuff. Come on.
Hey, can I pop that bubble real quick?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Elon is not smart. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that Elon is smart enough, but his parents gave him a whole bunch of money.
Yeah.
You guys are following these quote unquote self-made whatever the hells when their parents are giving them everything.
And he was a scammer too.
They have, They haven't had to work hard a day in their life. So when my blue collar brothers and sisters who continue to vote against their own interests, you need to pay attention to what's happening. It's a game. It's a game. They don't care if you feed your kids. They don't care.
I don't care.
I promise you,
If you
they
don't feed your
care.
kids, you got to work harder for them.
The guy from Disney, Bob Iger, I believe it was, when the writers and everybody were starting to go on strike and stuff, all the creative people started going on strike because they're tired of being hungry. And he said, let's just wait for them to stop. Let's just wait for them to have to pay their rent. And then let's see how quickly they come back. This is the game. It's happening in LA. It's happening in Silicon Valley. It's happening everywhere. They're trying to break the system. So you have to work for $10 to $12 an hour. They're hiring the folks coming in from the South to pick the fruit, and they're hiring people that don't live here to do all the technology and stuff. And then they're telling you that you're going to have to pay, or that you're going to have to work for less money. Why? So they can get more money. They know they're waiting to starve you out.
Yeah.
They know that they have enough money to buy eggs and bread and milk and do all the things. They have enough money. They're just starving you out. So then eventually, that's the great reset. You're going to be like, well, $15 an hour is not bad because it's a lot better than zero. That's what's happening. I have a video on my channel where it was probably the first video where it was like my wake up video. I'm like, hey, I just found out that this is happening in Silicon Valley. And then it was Donald Trump, a video of Donald Trump literally saying you're going to have to start to take pay cuts to stay competitive in the global workforce. At what point does any of that say make America great again? At what point? We're giving away all of our money to imports, people. They're not training you, and then they're telling you that you're dumb and lazy. And you're falling for it. And you're falling for it. And then when things get really bad, then they convince you that brown and black people are taking your jobs.
And I'm
telling you,
I'm
telling you, for years they have been taking jobs. And now that it's starting to reach the whiter end of the crust, now everybody wants to catch feelings and start blaming black and browns.
And they're arresting them at work or looking for work.
Yeah.
At church, at school. Doesn't matter.
And even if you're an American, they're starting to scoop us up too.
Yep.
And I have some army buddies that are on some bullshit. They're like, yeah, we got to get rid of it. I'm like, do you understand how much I look like an immigrant? Like an illegal immigrant? So now they're going to harass me. Well, then they say, well, then just show your ID. Nah, bitch, you don't have to show yours. Why the fuck do I have to show mine?
Yep. I promise you, I'm on someone's list. I posted on my Facebook at one point. I said, what's it going to take to wake up and get off the sidelines and jump in this fight with us? Is it going to take me getting arrested for speaking out, which is my fucking constitutional right?
Right.
Is that what it's going to take? A white man, a veteran, speaking out, not breaking any laws, to disappear?
Yeah.
Is that what it's going to take before someone says, whoa, I know that guy. He didn't break any laws. He's not an immigrant. Is that what it's going to take?
He doesn't check any of the boxes.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy is I also go to the VA for my healthcare and all that stuff, right? And I was talking to one of the ladies there, and I said, you know, I have never been to jail. Never. And she said, what?
Really? You?
For real? Like that's how crazy it is for, again, someone from the streets of Chicago to go to school, serve in the military, do all the things, and then I get to my point in life, and I say, yeah, I've never spent a day in jail, and people are still surprised. What's the media teaching you guys?
What media are you listening to that is teaching you that?
What media are you listening to?
Facts.
Fox.
Literally. And
This
talk
is
to
why Cliff
anybody.
started Fox Takedown.
Yeah, good.
Because it's, I don't know. We just had Kansas. We just had Cleveland. Last week was Cleveland's first one. Tomorrow's going to be Tampa's sixth one, but it's going all over. But I think we're going to even tweak it, because how do we took down Tesla because who buys Teslas? People who care about the economy, right?
Or
not
the environment.
economy,
The environment, yeah.
Yeah, the environment, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's Team Blue. They stopped buying them. Okay. The guys with the big lifted rigs, they don't want them.
No.
So there goes Tesla. So what can we take away from Fox? Those viewers, we can't keep them from watching. We can protest in front of there all we want, but there's two reasons why we do it. At least from my point of view. I haven't had this conversation with Cliff. I've had it with some of the other people at the Fox Takedowns. We can't pull their viewers off by protesting them. We might wake up a couple, might. But what we can do is show that we have the courage to stand up to them, and courage is contagious.
Yeah.
Okay. So when we're out there every week right in front of everybody driving by, and we're out there protesting, we've grown from just a few people to now having, 20 people show up. Well, we're only a few weeks in, and it's in the middle of the day. So it's people that have a night shift to work, or someone that, works on weekends more or something, or someone who's retired. They're showing up more and more. Well, Fox Takedown is spreading, but I think we're going to try it here, and we're going to start watching. We're going to start watching Fox and see who advertises on there.
Ooh.
And
if you don't think it works, look at Target.
Then we say, hey, next week we're moving Fox Takedown. Instead of being in front of the Fox, we're going to go in front of this air conditioning, mom and pop air conditioning. But we give them, I talked to one of the gals that's organizing here. And I said, once we have a list of who's advertising on there, we go and we say, hey, look, here's what we're going to do. In 2 weeks, if you're still advertising on Fox, we will be outside your door protesting. We will be drawing attention so that everybody on Team Blue that has an air conditioner breakdown will not call you. If you paid attention to what happened to Target, if you paid attention to what happened to Tesla, do you have the money to ride out this blue storm that we're going to bring?
Starve for Fox.
Not just that. I mean,
that's how we stop Fox.
Right.
We stop the people that are paying money to that affiliate, and the affiliate turns around and pays their licensing fee to Fox and puts out more propaganda.
Yeah.
That's how we stop it. I don't want to do that to a local mom and pop. I want them to stop advertising. So we're going to give them a choice.
Yeah.
I don't want to hurt their revenue and their ability to pay their employees and their ability to put food on their table. But if you're going to be part of the problem, then you're going to have to be considered in the solution.
Yes, sir.
That's the only way. Everybody speaks money.
You can still run your business, but you better hope that Mega comes through for you then. Because Blue, we're going to let Team Blue in the local area know, don't go to this place. And we talk.
And pay attention.
Talk.
Pay attention, because my pillow guy is he's at his limits too.
Yeah. So
pay attention to what happened to him.
Fox takedown. It's happening.
They're gonna start running like Giuliani's sideburns.
That mess. That guy was such a mess.
But we gotta find a way to bring this stuff to a halt, and it's not going to be fast. So we have to chink away at the Epstein files. That's a chink in the armor. Fox propaganda. How do we bring it down? Chink in the armor.
Yep.
Stop the propaganda.
And to pick up what Cliff Cash said when he was on the channel, he pointed out that MAGA is not as supported as you would think. Their crowds aren't as big as you would think.
No.
The support is just not as big as they're making it out to be. So it's important for folks like Sergeant Rhodes and all these other folks that you've been hanging out with to go out there and rouse rabbles. So folks can see, because like just the other day I saw another video where there was like, again, tens of thousands of people. Where was it? Was it Miami? It was either Miami or possibly even DC. I don't remember, but it was an incredible amount of people that were protesting against the administration. We need to continue off the point that Sergeant Rhodes was saying. We need to continue to do that so people can see it's okay. MAGA doesn't have a stronghold. It's okay to come out and support. It's okay to come out and tell your story. Because your story, what's happening to you, the stories that Mike here has been telling about community members just straight up disappearing.
Yep.
We need to hear those stories so we can, because again, there's power in numbers. And if your story pushes the needle in any way, shape, or form, that story is needed and is very important.
Yep. People are being disappeared. Families are being ripped apart. And there's going to be people, besides what's going on with ICE raids and the concentration camps, there'll be people dying because of the policies of this administration.
Yeah.
There already are overseas, but that's a whole nother podcast right there.
Yeah.
But so you got to remember, and I said this at a couple of my speeches, an injustice against one is injustice against all.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck Donald Trump.
Fuck him. Fuck him.
100%.
That's going to be a really good exclamation point at the end of the statement, because I know my guy here has got to go. I don't know.
Yep.
I'll go be a dad or something important. I don't know. Sergeant Rhodes, my brother, I am so excited to meet you, man.
You hear that? He's going to meet me in 2 weeks.
Got him.
I told you.
This is what I do, brother. This is what I do. I inspire people to come out. You know what? And I think the secret sauce is I can get the attention of both Team Red and Team Blue.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
I've had MAGA come up at protests. They're standing with their hat and they say, "Thank you for your service." Because you see my sign that says U.S. Marine Combat Veteran. So they see how I'm dressed. They see my sign and they say, "Thank you for your service." And right there, I start talking to them like a person.
Mm-hmm.
I might not pull them off Team Red Cap, but I start talking to them like a person.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden their noise goes down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And right now that's important.
And I start helping people. Like I said, my protest videos, I start getting people motivated to come and do this with me. All right. And I talk to people and I'm like, you should meet this person, you should meet that person because they can help you. And I'm going to introduce you guys to Carlos. You really need Carlos Alvarez Araños from American Opposition. Okay. I will send you his details.
I'm down.
And I'll reach out and ask if I have permission to send his phone number and all that stuff. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
You guys will love him. But
Can't
this is
wait.
what I do. I network people, and I get you wanting to join me in the streets, because that's where we're going to get heard the most.
Mm-hmm.
You still need to be using the 5 Calls app and making the phone calls to your representatives and senators. 5 Calls app makes it easy. If you don't know what to say, there's a script on what to say according to whatever you're wanting to talk about. Like before the big beautiful bill, big bullshit bill, there's a script. Okay, it figures out who your reps are for you, and you push a button and you can call them right from the
Beautiful.
app.
Beautiful.
But besides them hearing that, they need to see you.
Mm-hmm.
And so out in the streets helps, but we don't have a lot of mainstream media because they're too scared of the lawsuits.
Sure.
So we got people like you that are showing it. So if
Mhm.
you go to DC and you live stream what's going on, along with the other podcasters that Jessica will be live streaming. If you're there live streaming, Cats on the Couch, I'm going to guess that she'll probably live stream. Do you know who she is?
No.
That account, go on Instagram. That account exists solely for the purpose of having more followers than JD Couchfucker. And she's got 1 million followers on Instagram. And she just commented on one of my videos and said that yeah, she's going to be there.
That's awesome.
So if you guys are live streaming, that is how we get people to see what's going on. Not only do you get content, you also get to show people what mainstream media is being too chicken shit
It's
to show.
missing. Yeah.
There's a protest that's been going on. I think they're in week 3 every single day in front of the Fox News in DC.
Mm.
And it's because they won't show. They're protesting Fox, MSNBC, CNN, all of them that are in that little building, that little headquarters area there. They're all in that same thing, renting office space. And you can hear it on some of their TV shows. You can hear the sirens from the megaphones in the background.
That's
But
crazy.
they're like, you won't show what's happening in Gaza. We're going to stay here until you do.
Yeah.
And they're in like week 3 every day.
Yeah.
We need that constant pressure.
Hours and hours on end. You can
And
show
again-
that.
And again, they would rather bomb other countries than educate your kids.
Yeah.
Right there, that alone, to me, I'm ready to vote for whoever says we're going to do education first. That one's
And
it.
mean it.
And mean it.
Yeah.
I mean it.
I mean it.
Where can people find you online?
I always send them to my Instagram. So see right there, my name, Valhalla _Overland. Like I said, I had a few hundred followers because it was just about my Forerunner and going off-road. When I retire, I'm medically retired now, but when my wife retires, we wanted to see all the national parks. We wanted to go off-road camping, get on mountaintops and by the lakes, places where you can't go with a regular vehicle.
Oh, it sounds
I had
like
a
you
couple
need to come
hundred
hang out with
followers.
me in California, kid.
Hey,
That's what we do.
I had a couple hundred followers, and that was in March when I decided to go to a protest, and now I'm like 11,000 plus.
Yeah, putting in the work is what you're doing.
So it's just, if you go there, if you don't mind me dropping some F-bombs, but really go there. If you're having a hard day and you're with that breaking news,
Yeah.
I mean, I love that we're getting informed breaking news from Aaron Parnas, but if you're having a hard day, go to my Instagram and click on one of my motivational videos, one of the ones where you see the protest signs, and you will rejuvenate yourself.
Yeah.
It will help. You will see that you are not alone. Even if you live in some podunk town and you feel like you're the only blue dot there, You're not the only blue dot. We got your back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And reach out. That's why technology is important.
Reach out.
Reach out.
Yep.
Hey, how about you, Mike? C4 explosives.
Man, you know what? Actually, Valhalla, Sergeant Rhodes, actually just you shared one of my messages, and it was the one where I was walking about finding your joy. And you know, you don't want to become the person that you're fighting against. You don't want to be the guy that you can't stand being around. So you got to find those moments where you're like, all right, let me recalibrate a little bit and find my joy. And if it just happens to be kicking Nazis' asses, hey, have at it, brother. And I love it. I love it.
I had that conversation with one of the social media people up at Flare today. We were talking, and like I said, I'll let you guys know if it's gonna happen. But we're gonna have, or we're hoping that we'll have a candlelight vigil in DC. Maybe I'll give you a little more teaser. So, I believe his name is AJ Muste. Do you guys know who that is?
Mm-mm.
Okay, 1 second here. AJ, and then his last name is Muste. Okay. And he has a favorite, or a very famous quote from during the Vietnam War. He would be outside the White House every night for, I don't know how long, but with a candle, all by himself. And once a reporter asked him, "Do you really think you're going to change the policies of this country by standing out here alone at night in front of the White House with a candle?" AJ Muste replied softly, "Oh, I don't do this to change my country. I do this so the country won't change me."
Hey, yes.
And I want to kind of have put together, if we can get it coordinated correctly, I want to put together that, because all the yelling and protest signs and stuff, I'm going to ask, if we do it, I'm going to ask that everybody bring a candle, or if we can get candles there, that's great. If someone wants to donate, a company wants to donate some candles or something. But everybody, the only signs I want to see, if you bring a sign, is with his quote or part of his quote. I do this so I won't change, or the entire quote. I just want to do it for him, so that people come and they're not yelling and chanting. None of the chants. Step down and get back to being why we are here, because we're good people and we care about each other. So let's just put the anger away for a minute and let's just make this happen.
Yeah, I love that.
Mike, give them your social media, your websites. Tell them about Dad Up too. Come on.
Oh man, so we got this Dad Up Radio. It's about dad supporting dads, empowering fathers and father figures to be more involved in their kids' lives. So that's veterans, that's the everyday man, those are doctors. These are real conversations with people that really just, you have to get to the core, man, because you can't really change a broken man, but you can head it off at the curb by impacting these children early on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to, with my pastor, man, we're just trying to really be involved in the community and try to spread this out everywhere we can go, because everywhere you can go, there are fathers. When you're in the seas and of the protests and the battalions and with everybody shoulder to shoulder, you know, your brothers and sisters are also fathers, and you're also sons and daughters. So, you know, we're just trying to impact communities and children's lives, man. And that's what I'm doing. At C4 Explosives on TikTok, you know, and just follow along here. I'm sure links will be up there, man.
We'll put links in the description. Yeah. Y'all know me. Still the same OG.
MOG.
But I've been low key. Hated on by most of these honkies, but no, just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. All right, everybody.
That's how we talk to each other in the military.
That's just it. Like people forget. I was in the
My
military.
nickname, my nickname was Güero.
Güero?
Yeah.
Bueno.
Because
Mine
all
was
my buddies, when I was in 1st Battalion, 9th Marines in Southern California at Camp Pendleton, I was the only white boy. They were all Hispanic. So
we love
that was
white
my
folks.
nickname.
We love
We all
white
gotta have
folks.
some
We
cool
love
ass
black
white boys.
Hell yeah, dude. We need someone to let us get away with shit when the cops stop us.
Like get out of jail free card.
Hey, I'll tell this story and then we can wrap up if it happens. But I was in Mexico a couple months ago, and we were doing this off-road thing. Sergeant Rhodes, have you ever heard of NORA?
Of Nora?
National Off-Road Racing Association? NORA?
I have not. No.
No. I was able to go down and film a race a few months ago, and when we were going down one of the cliffs or whatever, we got down to this bottom of this whatever the hell, and there was cartel members there.
Oh,
Everybody on my team was nervous. I looked back, I was like, I got this. I'm like, you guys act like we're in America, and you're me. I'm like, in America, you guys will handle that. Down here, I got this one.
yep.
Nothing happened. Like they just let us go by. I gave them the old.
Do you know why they let you go by?
Because we don't have anything to do with them. Fuck guys.
No human is illegal.
Orderly.
And with that, everybody, like, share, subscribe. We'll talk to you soon.
Peace.
Fuck Donald Trump.